Loktarogar. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, everyone's favorite orc warrior, and it's time for another orc mode workout. And you know what, guys? You guys saw the DEXA scan video. I wasn't totally happy with what I saw there, but part of it, I think, is my training and my cardio. It doesn't mean I'm going to quit the orc mode training. When you look at it, I gained arm muscle, but I lost leg muscle. My squat volume has been low, and I added in less cardio just over a month ago. I've had a couple of coaches look at it already, and they agree me adding the cardio in absolutely did not help me retain leg muscle. That probably contributed to some of my leg muscle loss, and everyone's agreed, including myself. A couple different coaches I know out there who are powerlifting coaches, and at least one of them is a physique prep coach. They all agreed I need to do a little more squat volume moving forward. So cardio is going out, and I'm going to just keep working on increasing volume, total daily and weekly volume on things like my squats and just my overall training volume. I think that combined with the higher protein, because I've dropped 4 pounds in the last 2 weeks just up in the protein, because that's helped me just stay fuller. And so accordingly, I think that's going to be the way to go. Keep that protein high, keep increasing my training volume, just kind of really regulate my food intake, make sure I maintain a caloric deficit, but very, very high protein. And I just need more overall training volume. And if that means it even dropping down and doing extra sets of 5 with 335 on the bar on squats, and that's what I'll do, all right? And I need to always try to do 2 sets of pull-ups every workout like I'm doing. Some people haven't realized that, though, at the end when I extend it out. They don't realize I'm extending that second clip sometimes. But at this point, there's enough training, and it's going to probably increase from here. There's enough volume. These videos are going to be over 10 minutes with just the raw, uncut footage. I'm still struggling kind of getting the bar where I want it again on these low bar squats. I'm having to play around to find my sweet spot again. That's not going to mess my bicep up as far as arm position goes. Back when I was doing 485 every day. So, and I'll get back to that position. And you know what? While I'm cutting here, while I'm losing body weight for obviously the rest of the year, I mean, I don't see how I'm going to get to the body fat or body weight I want even this year. So it's going to need to just be a long-term endeavor. I don't see myself ending this cut anytime soon. And yes, I mean, 3 months in so far, you're like, well, it's only 6 pounds. You guys keep in mind, some of that was probably because of my initial loss was already there. I dropped, what was it, like 14 pounds before that DEXA scan. People don't realize I was over 250 when I started filming this training. Down to 230. That's what I was today, which is not cool because last week I was 228. So I'm 230 officially on the DEXA, and it'll probably swoosh back down because I haven't had a calorie surplus. I haven't pigged out. I haven't done any of that to cause that weight to go up. So I'll be back in the 220s probably next week, and then we'll go from there. And I'll lose weight as quickly as I seem to be able to get away with it, and hopefully maintain strength and muscle better from here on out. So I also think some of that was water, because again, I probably swooshed a bit in the last 2 weeks from that 4 pound drop, so probably dropped some water in the muscle. Some of that's going to be connective tissue through the body fat. But it's interesting though, because I gained arm muscle, so I don't think I've lost muscle in my upper body. But I think some of that leg muscle loss is real, because my squats have gotten harder. I haven't been squatting as heavy because of technique and other stuff going on. That's been a factor. I added the cardio in, which is creating a deficit, and that deficit is probably just coming from my muscle tissue in my legs. So any extra weight I lost from adding a little bit of cardio in, I've been doing, probably came from my large extent from my leg muscles. So maybe now that I quit the cardio as of today, and I add a little more squat volume, it might start coming back. We'll see. I guess I'll find out. I'll find out come December for my next DEXA scan, because I've got one scheduled for December. So we'll know coming up on the end of the year where I'm at, and I'm just going to stay diligent with this, and I'm going to be accountable. Just like I've told you guys before, you guys see my lifts every day. You guys are going to see my DEXA scan results, and I finally got the email. I'll maybe get something this weekend put up showing the actual scan so people can see the numbers, and they can see the differences between last time, because a lot of it's got comparison charts from my original scan, and it'll do that each time. But each one of these I do, we're going to track them over time, and people are going to see it real time. They're going to see real world right there what's going on as far as all my lifts go, my body composition, everything. You know, I'm really doing this all as accountability at this point. And again, I dare other YouTubers to do that. Show your DEXA scans, several DEXA scans a year. You know, we'll see where you guys go on and off your blasted gear, won't we? And we'll see your visceral fat. We'll know what's up, guys. Use calibrated plates. They're not that expensive. I'm sorry, but if you got over 100,000 YouTubers, subscribers on YouTube, and you can't afford calibrated plates, I don't know what you're doing. No offense, guys, but again, like I said before, I make middle class income just off of this channel. Literally just off this channel. Granted, I make multiple videos every day, and they're longer videos. But anyone who's sitting on 200,000 subs already could do the same thing and probably make twice the money I make. You could easily pull 6 figures off their channel. Easily. So, you know, calibrated plates, guys. I'm keeping everything transparent. I mean, people can say whatever the hell they want about me, but I do all my lifts pretty much with calibrated plates. So, you know, some exceptions. Those road plates are not, other red ones aren't calibrated, but they're within 15 grams guaranteed or my money back. But all these blue ones, these are calibrated competition plates. They're guaranteed within a gram. Calibrated plates, DEXA scans. Instead of you guys asking me for my stats, giving you a printout scanned by a machine. My interpretation of it's pretty much irrelevant. It's hard numbers. You guys can see where my fat is, where my muscle is, where it's changing. And, you know, I'm going to keep this transparent. I'm going to keep it transparent. Even if I got today, I wasn't fully happy with those results. I knew when I saw those results, I was going to catch some flack. I knew I was going to catch some flack for it, because for a lot of people, that was not as good as they would expect. And I expected better. But to be fair, it is what it is. Putting it up there, just like when I miss a lift, guys, and I'm disappointed with a lift. You guys have seen me get pinned under bench press before, haven't you? Yeah. Do I edit it out? No. This is, again, keeping this real. Keeping it real. You know, people can talk all they want about me or anyone else being fake this or that on their YouTube, but this is a fitness channel. This is a lifting channel. This is what I do. I don't care what you think about any other topic related to me. That's not what this channel is about, and has never been about. So this is not a lifestyle channel. This is a fitness and a lifting channel. So the stuff that matters, we're keeping transparent. I mean, it's as real as it gets. In fact, you guys can tell a lot about the composition of my diet and possible drug abuse or everything else by looking at those stats also, can't you? Because we have studies on visceral fat and anabolic abuse, as well as visceral fat in people who consume excessive amounts of refined sugars and table sugars and all that. Irrespective of my caloric surplus, anyone who's looked at any of the research can look at my DEXA scans and tell that I actually really don't eat much junk food. The technicians who looked at it noticed that immediately. I actually have a pretty large disparity. My visceral fat versus subcutaneous fat was really low. Like, they don't see people 20% body fat with 1 pound of visceral fat. You don't see guys who abuse a gram of test a week have a pound of visceral fat either. I see guys who use a bunch of HGH, IGF-1, have 1 pound of visceral fat either. So, food for thought, guys. But yeah, lifting was okay today. As you guys saw, I did 2 back offsets on the squats. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 sets of pull-ups for you guys. And again, we're probably going to increase some of this from here, particularly some of these bigger exercises that use a lot of muscles, you know, like a pull-up, like the squat, particularly the squat. I mean, that's what's going to burn through extra calories recovering from. That's what's going to create an anabolic effect, because I've got to stimulate muscle growth. I really need the weight that I lose to be fat, not muscle. I'm not trying to create a calorie deficit to burn muscle off. And that invariably happens to some extent. It's very, very, very difficult to avoid. When you're like me and you're holding 180 pounds of fat-free mass, that's a lot, guys. That is a lot for a 5'9" guy. That's a hell of a lot. It's hard to hold on to. Caloric deficit's very, very easy to strip away muscle tissue at that point. So again, I'm going to have to adjust my training routine to compensate for that, or else I'm going to lose another 3 or 4 pounds of muscle. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.